Oh, the meeting.
Oh, I guess I'm not late for the meeting.
Abraham, here I am.
I gotta go.
Hey, David, how are you doing?
Hey, Abraham, how are you?
Pretty good.
I'm gonna be late!
Hello. Joseph, how are you doing? Pretty good. Guys, where's Noah? I don't know. He's always late for everything.
Sorry, I'm late, guys. It's been raining for 40 days and 40 nights! Sorry, I'm late, guys. Woo! It was a storming up there.
What are you doing? Where have you been?
I have been on an ark for 40 days and 40 nights. It was raining. It was raining so hard.
What was why?
Why?
Yeah.
God commanded it to flood the earth.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
Yes.
Crazy.
Wow.
And destroy all of mankind except for me and my family and 2 of each kind of animal on the earth.
Wow, that's a
That's
lot.
incredible.
And I had to build an ark to fit all the animals in my family for a long, long time.
That must have taken you forever. For
It
real.
definitely did, let me tell you.
How did you know how to build it? Did God tell
God
you?
told me.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
He
Wow.
came to me and he told me, Noah, I want for you to build an ark.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
It was really emotional for me, though, to keep all of everyone that I have grew up with and that lives in my world out of the ark.
Right.
But the Lord commanded me to, so I have to do what he does.
That must have been a big responsibility. Wow.
Yes, it was. So, you know, how are you doing? How are your brothers?
Well, honestly, they had just tried to kill me. Like, I don't know, like, what happened. They threw me in a den type thing. And so I was trying to get out of it. And then these people came and they were wanting to sell me. To
Sell
be a,
you?
Yeah, to be a slave in Egypt.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Well, how are you doing now? Like,
I'm actually doing okay. I'm actually second in command in Egypt.
wow, that's great. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
The Lord has done great things for you.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. So what about you, David?
Well, I just had to kill a giant with this little slingshot.
With that?
Yes.
Whoa.
This
Just-
little slingshot.
yes.
How did you do it?
Wait,
I-
was this Goliath?
Yes.
No,
I
no.
heard about him.
No
Oh my
way.
goodness.
Oh my word.
Well, I just killed him with this little slingshot.
How did you do that?
Well, God just gave me the power, I guess.
The
And he
Lord.
just-
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
God does a lot.
Crazy.
So what about you? How's your son? Well, guys, okay. I almost had to kill him today. Oh my gosh. See,
Why?
I don't know. God told me to kill my son. And it was hard because he said, I will make you father of many nations. And he wants me to kill my own son. But I chose to follow him. And then an angel appeared and just told me to stop. So I didn't have to. It was really, really hard, guys. But it's okay. We're good now. We're good. So he's doing okay? Yeah, perfectly fine. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, tell me about your wardrobe.
Well, actually, I got this for my birthday. My dad actually gave it to me, and the reason my brothers threw me in the den is because they were jealous.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? And so, I don't know why. I mean, I guess I'm his favorite. I don't know, but I mean, I didn't think of me, you know, as a favorite. I was just a shepherd boy, you know.
So humble.
Thank
so
you.
humble.
Thank you.
That's great.
You are so humble, Joseph.
Thank you.
So, tell me about this Goliath. Why is he so big? And why does so many people?
I have no idea. Just he's a.
Why did God choose you though? You're so tiny.
Yes, I know, but God just gave me the power to do it. So.
Wow. Because I wouldn't have thought that you would have ever
Yeah.
been able to do that.
Either.
No.
But God's help, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Mm.
So how is y'all's life going now?
Pretty
What do you do
good.
with your life now?
My life? Well, let me tell you. Me and my family, you know, we're just working on God's land, you know, with all the animals. We're just having a great old time since we're the only people on the world right now. But, you know, it's great. It's great. It's emotional, let me tell
That's
you.
touching. I'm telling you. I
Yes,
feel it.
because just we're the only
That's-
people on the earth right now.
Yeah, and so I mean, you'll have to, you know, you
Yes,
have to
we
work
bonded,
hard. Yeah.
and you know what? It's fine. The Lord provides for us.
Yes,
Yes,
he
he
does.
does.
Yes,
Yes,
He
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 does.
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 And
That is
since,
right.
you know, I obeyed him by, you know, doing the ark and getting all them animals, he helps my family.
That is great.
And
That's amazing.
Yep, we're just having a good old time.
That's awesome.
So,
What about you, Joseph?
I'm actually, you know, it says second in command.
in
But
Egypt.
Before, yeah, in Egypt. But before that, I was actually thrown in prison.
Whoa, for what?
Potiphar's wife just opened,
Oh,
just
my
all of a
goodness.
sudden said I had done something that I did not do.
Wow.
And God knew I did it. But he got me out of jail, and so now I'm second in command. And there was a
So-
famine come, and I had to provide food for my brothers after
Oh.
what they did.
And you were willing to do that?
Yeah, it was hard, but, you know, with God's help, I chose to forgive them.
That
That
is
is
amazing.
so
So-
great,
Yeah.
Joseph.
that's
That
how
is
it works.
amazing. Yeah.
So what about you?
Well, I just plan to go on with life.
Really?
Right now. Yeah.
That's great.
Nice.
Serve God.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be
Nice.
a king one day?
Probably not.
Really?
But if that's God's will, then
Yeah, if it's God's will.
Yeah.
All right. So, you know, tell me more about this. Why did the Lord want you to kill your son?
See, I really don't know. I guess he was wanting to see if I was truly going to follow him no matter what.
You
You
know,
know,
yeah.
As hard as that was, you know, I chose to do it, and the Lord blessed me through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we all have been tested by the Lord.
I think so too.
Because
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you were so humble and gracious enough to help your brothers out when the famine came, even though they hated you.
Mhm.
They threw you and tried to sell you off as a slave. And you, I mean, you're tiny.
Mhm.
You know, you probably wouldn't have thought to go against Goliath if you hadn't had help from the Lord. And you over here,
Mm-hmm.
Abraham, you know, you probably wouldn't have killed your son unless the Lord would have told you to. And
Right.
by you trusting in him,
Right.
you were willing to do that.
And you, Noah, I mean, having faith to build an ark
Yeah.
for, you knew it was going to kill a bunch of people, but you
The-
decided to follow
the
God
Lord,
anyway.
that was the Lord's will. So
And all those people saying that stuff about her, and
Yeah.
he still did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Well,
Well, guys, this has been good.
it
This
has.
has been really
We
good.
should do this again.
We
sometime.
need to,
should.
yeah.
yes, we need to.
this is very
All right. Well,
Okay.
you know. All right. So group hug, you
Group
guys.
hug.
Group hug.
I'm Emily Strickland, and I chose Abraham for my Bible project because the amount of faith that Abraham had in God is amazing, and that's a great story for us, like, to go through in our faith, because it says, like, hey, God has a plan for you, and even though you might think, like, this isn't the right thing, like, why is this happening, is that God knows the end results, and that His plan is always best. And we need to trust Him whenever we do. Like Abraham was willing to kill his son Isaac, even after God said, Abraham, you will be the father of many nations. And then He's wanting him to kill his son, like, but all along it was just a test to see if he'd be willing to do it. And, like, God will send us tests, and we have to be ready to do those tests, be willing to follow God no matter what. And I know, like, in this world, like, we'll have many tests, and people will come through, and they might even judge you and be like, well, why are you doing this? But we got to remember that God has a plan, and His plan is best, and He knows the end result, and we don't. So we need to follow His plan and remember what He has in store. So I picked Abraham because he was such an amazing example for us to follow and live by.
Hey guys, so it's Leah, and I did my Bible report on Joseph, and I really can't relate to him, but I do look up to him as a respectable person to have so much faith in God the way he did, and trust in Him, even though he went through, like, just everything pretty much. Not as bad as Job, but it was pretty bad. But anyway, so he's just a really respectable character, I think, and he should really be looked up for what he went through. To be second in command of Egypt, that was pretty great. What going through, getting thrown in a den, and then being sold into slavery, being betrayed by his brothers, and then having to forgive his brothers and everything and move on. So bye.
Hi, I'm Blair, and I chose Noah because I think that he was extremely courageous and following God and trusting in His power and will, because most people know that, he took 2 of each kind of animal and put them on the ark and built the ark and whatever. But, they're not so much aware of all the pure persecution and, just public, abuse kind of that he got, because he had to shut out all of his, people that he grew up with, all the people in his community, and he had to be hated because of that. So that's why I chose him, just to kind of show the other side of it, that, you grew up learning the ark and the animals, but you don't learn what he goes through to follow God's will. So that's why I chose Noah.
You didn't say all the meeting.
Sorry, I'm late, guys.
When I was on the ark, let me tell you what, it was raining, and it was so scary because I had to leave all the people of my county and city, and it was so sad, but God told me to do it, so I had to do it, but I will please my Lord, and I left them, and I said nobody can get on this ark, and it was the work of God that shut them out of my ark. And only 2 of each kind of animal got to come in. I was so sad. Abraham, here I am.
I gotta go.
You're late. Say it now. Crawl.
Yeah, go.
I'm gonna be late. Oh, I'm gonna be late. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's Christmas. Oh, guys, it's already night.
Well, I just had to kill a giant, so
Why did you have to do that?
kept messing with me. What? For my brothers.
Defending your brother.
Yeah. That